Hello, everyone. How are you?
I'm good. I'll just
Good.
give a couple of minutes more to let the folks
Oh,
join, and then I think we are good to start. Yeah.
sounds good. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, let's get started, guys. Let me pull up my screen. Yes, is my screen visible?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, but your voice is little squeaky.
Okay. Is it clear now? Just give me a minute. Just give me.
It's better for me actually.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good for me as well.
Shantanu, is it you who's facing issue with the voice? Guys, is it clear now?
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Okay. Let's get started, guys. So, good morning, all. Thank you for joining our today's session. So, our today's topic, and we'll starting with our first configuration and understanding the first implementation thing, that is the value set, flex field, and lookups. I started with a small configuration because this are a fundamental configuration, which are nevertheless required as well, because some of the fields, some of the areas, or some of the text boxes are always required by the client implementation projects, because there are the what Oracle provide is the standard screen, but we have a requirement that to see different type of flexibilities or different types of alteration which I can do to the screens. So starting off with, we'll start with the value set, flex field, and lookups that are very easy to understand and quite easy to go forward. Once you get a feel of this and understand what is the terminology used within this, it becomes much easier to set up this thing. Okay, so let me just go to the second slide. So what we'll do today is we'll discuss about the value set. What is the value set? What is the importance of value set here currently? What are the different types of value set which we have? Tertiary, we'll understand what is flex field. Meaning by flex field is DFF, EFF. We are familiar with terminology, this terminology in our eBay's application also, where you must have seen a scenario, okay, where is this field you store? We store it in a DFF, that is a descriptive field. And from technical perspective, you would have seen this is are nothing but the attribute field, additional field. Uh, all the standard Oracle tables have attribute columns available. Reason for providing that attribute column is there are standard columns in a table. If I search for PO header solve, right, I have standard column PO number, PO details, PO header ID. Correspondingly, if there are additional attributes which are required, how to store them? To give that flexibility, Oracle come with attribute columns, allowing the user to store the data as form of DFFs, and that uh, data can be referred at multiple position. So we'll see about that as well. How do we configure this flex field? So that is the first configuration we'll start today. So if I give a scenario, okay, this is the value set, this is the DFF. That is the main area where we'll head today. And what are the level of lookups? Lookups is really easy. It's similar to the one which we have in EBS as well. Just a minute. Similarly, we'll see how the configuration levels of lookups are also there. Different types of lookup configurations. So with that note, let's first understand what is a value set. Reason I'm bringing this screen in front of you is we'll definitely navigate to this application, but just as a fundamental one, if you are going any interview moving forward, or anyone from the client as well, what is value set, understanding and explaining, it's really important. So just have a look into this side, just have a walk through it. Just I'll explain it once you just have a read of that, what line does it. It becomes really easy. Just have a read to it. I'll just take a 1 minute and 2 minute pause. Just read it out. And I'll give a lifetime example how this value set helps you to do that. Are we good, guys? Have we completed it? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, done.
Yeah, okay. Now, just hold on to the screen. I'll show you a lifetime example. What does it mean? Just a minute. So I was working with one of the client, and they were into this semiconductor industry, and one was also, I'll say, having a pen business. Actually, they were in a stationery business. Actually, they were not only supplying pens but different types of instrument, and also having similar to Amazon what they were doing. It was a US based thing. So what they come up with the plan is that we have seen your Oracle Fusion purchase order screen. It has all the column, it has purchase order number, what are the different details. They had a requirement that I want to show on the screen what is the pen color, and they need a dialog box for this, or I'll say a drop down for this. So there should be a field similar to this way on the screen, color equal to, and there's a drop down available. So drop down has fields like light green, blue, similarly black. And they also had a requirement that we allow the user to make payments to UPI as well. So can you give me an option where payment mode, in that give me give me checkboxes, or give me a field in this format that I can allow the user to select either cash, that is means cash payment. If it's a bulk order, they can use check. If it's a UPI, take me to a navigation where they can follow this Google Pay, Paytm, and other things. UPI payment. Now, if you see this, you're getting my point, right? What is the requirement? You're getting my point, right? This is a requirement from a client that on a screen I should see a box saying color. Whenever I create an order, or when I'm purchasing an item, that should have a field saying color, and in that color whenever I create a purchase order, I should see this types of definite colors available, so that I can choose from the list of items. Item would be configured in the system, correct? Correspondingly at the screen also I want to see it. So Oracle, what they did is that this is not a standard requirement. or not all clients will want a color on the screen. Not every client will be into payment mode. They would be, no, we only agree check, we only agree cash. Why I need this type of field? Depends upon the in the client which we are working. So to solve this requirement, what happened is Oracle come with an idea that prepare a value set for this. What is a value set? Where the name it is created, having a set of values and defining it on a segment. What is a segment? This color. So what will be the field name which we'll see is color, and under that we'll have this type of values available. I'll just take a halt here. Just let me know if you're getting my concept on this. I wanted to give a lifetime example. I'll take a halt here. Anyone has any doubt, any queries? I'll show you this in environment as well, but just wanted to clear what is value setting. Just understanding and reading will not make that much easier, but let's start with an example so it will make the things easier. You're getting the requirement, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, value set is something which predominantly client requires for
Correct.
the platform to function.
Correct. Exactly. Because this is not, Oracle cannot support everything like to provide value for this. They can't build that screen for in that way, right? Because this is dependent on client. If Amazon comes to them, no, we do not want this value. Can we provide this only? So this will be having n number of clients, having n number of value set will be really tough. Correct. So what Oracle do is this is into client plan. That implementation team do it. So what is the main concept here is these are not the standard fields. This is not Oracle providers. This is what we develop for the client. Correct. So with that note, let's jump into the application. Just a minute, let's just take a time. I'll log in with one of the person. And as a part of our practice, as an homework also, I'll create some value set in the call itself. Let's practice it out. So that will make the things much easier. I'll show you the navigation, how to go, what are the different value set. And there's a SCM perspective value set also. Means only dedicated to SCM screens. Okay, so I've logged in as a user, one of this as Casey Boyle. So he's an administrator as well. So has all the rights, if you can see here. Go to setup and maintenance. So what we need to do is click on this person's name here. I'll re-show that. Click here. These are the setup actions which are there. Under this, if you see, there is setup and maintenance. Click on this. This is my setup screen. This is just this is our what we call it as home screen or 100%. This is for functional folks. This is like a configuration screen. Here we do all the configuration actually. So if you see here, as I told, this is a setup name. Is it related to compensation management? Different type of setups. If you're a financial person who is doing a setup, this will be, you have to select financial. If you're SCM guy setup, you're doing SCM setup, then you need to go to procurement, definitely order management. This is a screen. So depending upon your selection here of a particular module, dependent functional area gets reflected here. So if you see, when I selected financial, this all functional areas got selected. General ledger, organization study. So here by clicking on any of this, I can do the required configuration. But our main focus is on SCM. But I want to show you two things here. Either you can go by navigation by clicking here. Let's see, suppose I want to do procurement setup. Click on this and all the task or the functional area respected to procurement will come. Or there's one more option. If you see this copy or the task option available here, just click on this search. So what Oracle is providing a global search, right? With that, there's a task name. You can just have a note down this particular task name because this is unique to Oracle. Only you have to remember this. Manage value set. If you search it, then you can see here, this is a task available. Task here means is we divide it basically into 3 sections. I'll just navigate to you and tell you about it. So this is module. So depending upon if it's a financial thing, it is a SCM thing, select a module. Area. What is an area? Because organization structure has different types of things like inventory organization, item organization. So what Oracle has divided it into 3 parts. Basically, first select the module, then select the functional area, and correspondingly, suppose if I click on this organization structure, here you see organization structure has come. Select all tasks, so you can see all the tasks. So if you see manage business unit, set assignment, different tasks. So what I'll reiterate this point, 3 points. Select a module, select the area, select a task. Correct. You can't even directly navigate to a task by clicking on this option, but startingly or functionally, or we'll say that a flow which follows by Oracle is select a module, select a area, select a task. Getting my point? So this is a normal flow, and this becomes much easier because Oracle 2 has to accumulate a lot of things, right? If they would have provided it in a single flow, manage business unit, manage set unit, it would be making the screen look really bad because there are 100 of tasks here available. If you view the configuration, there are multiple things. If I can show you a couple of them. If I go to procurement, if I go to purchasing foundation, what are the purchasing foundation tasks? So if I click here, see here we have n number of tasks available here, correct? So showing them instead of directly in this section, what Oracle has done is select a module. Just you can have a note down this point also. Select a module, select a area, select a task. So 3 areas, 3 components: module, area, task, right? But to make the things easier, Oracle 2 has provided a flexibility if you want a global search. So what you need to do for a global search is go to this task option which is available, click on search, and by name, if you remember, you can search anything, right? So it is also a global search, which is similarly to if you remember, we had that person sign information, right? In EBS, it goes in same manner. So it will search all the tasks which their information is the word starting in manage, right? So that global option search is always available. So sometimes what happens if I do not know the function area name, I can use this option. Okay, just type the name value set, then it should give me what are the value set available. If I want to configure descriptive flex field, just type DFF, what are the different options available. But if by practice, this will things which will come when you explore this environment more, correct? So right now, like I get a practice that, okay, I know this task will be available in procurement. So what to do is go to procurement work, this module. Just a minute, the environment is little slow. Yeah. So just go to this environment. I know my task will be under this area. Oracle never changes this. If they have defined a particular task in particular area, it will always remain there same. With new version releases, they will never change this. So be assured of it. If you once know the navigation where the tasks resides, it will be quite easier, right? I'll take a halt here. If anyone has any queries, what I explained, please feel free to ask.
So the value sets what we have on the EBS is different from the value sets what we have on the cloud.
Configuration is different, but the concept remains the same actually.
Okay, so it's like every module we have a value sets here.
Yes,
there,
yes.
The value sets are at the AOL level, right? FND top level.
Correct. Reason being because that the ones you here also I'll tell you the one which you send, which is as a global one, right? Also has sub modules in that where you have to select a module. So I'll tell you that also. If I select a particular module in that, it is always directing to procurement only, right? Similarly, if I select a module there related to compensation management, it will be direct to compensation management value set only. I'll tell you that when that comes.
Yeah.
But,
and we don't have a lookups here in cloud, or else they remove lookups and then just had the value sets corresponding to module.
We have lookups. We have lookups here also.
Oh, we have lookups also. Okay.
Yep. But my main agenda for this is showing you the navigation also, like how different ways are there to different navigate here. Always remember when this is a really critical point, Oracle by default shows only the required tasks, which are the mandatory tasks. But do remember to see all the tasks, click on required tasks. Select all tasks. So this will show you all the tasks related. Right?
Okay.
So by practice also, just start to adhere these things and start to remember the name. Okay, for purchasing, we have purchasing profile option, flight times, manage in this format. This is like a format which Oracle follows. Right? Now, are we clear till this point? Guys, anyone has any doubts?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So
I feel
Mhm.
when we start using the platform, we'll be getting more doubts, I believe.
Correct. Even I'll share the link in this link of this and password in the Zoom chat. So we'll in today's call also simultaneously you can start in your environment also. Okay, let me give that also. Just ping it in the Zoom chat. But guys, just do remember, please do not change the password because this password gets reset quite often for this demo environment. Always, I think moving forward when you'll enroll for this course, you can always refer this Fusion Cloud instance link also. Okay. Now, with that note, let's move forward. You can use Cassie Boyle only. That will be fine. A multiple login is allowed, so no worries about it. If I do my task, that will not other unless we are using the same screen. So that is something which is there. Now, let's start with this. I think everyone got the password, right? They're able to see it in the Zoom chat, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So let's go to search. I'll give you time. Let's just have a look at it. Then we'll start practicing the scenarios also. Okay. Now, first, there are two ways, right? Which I told you, global search option and directly going from functional area to the particular task. Let's first go for global search. Okay. Let's select a particular task. May I know the name? That is manage value set. You can even search by value percentage. That is also available. If you do not remember the task, Oracle provides that flexibility. Now, let's go to value set. So here, if you see, when I click on this, it has three sections, right? The one thing which I was telling about, module selection. This is global search, right? So initially I have to select a module, that which module this particular is related. So if there are already some configured value set, you can select a module and check it out also. That by search option, okay, these are the value set. If you want to create your own value set, there is an option if you see here, plus sign. Creating your own value set, create option. If you see, when I click go like just close my cursor to here, it has an option create, right? So what Oracle has done is divided a single page into multiple parts where you can create as well and even you can search for it as well. Okay, so suppose we are from same team. What I need to do is click on this drop down. We'll select a module. If you see, there are hundreds of modules available here right now, because depend upon what is required from HCM team, what is required from finance team. But if you do not remember your module name, what is an option available here? Click on this drop down. There's a link, search, right? I'll show you the navigation. Click on the drop down, go to the search link. While clicking on the search link, you can see user module name. Now, I do not know what it is. It's like supply chain completely. The wording is there, or the word is just like normal. It is SCM, right? So let's go by SCM. So these are the different tasks available as part of SCM user modules. You can also create here your own module as well, but that will depend actually. That has to be contacted with the system administrator team. Similarly, if I want to know specific to procurement, right? So what I'll do is search by procurement. So here, if you can see, procurement things happen. What is any value set related to procurement, catalog management, procurement management, different module key also. So this is actually a very free environment. We generally do not have so many because it's a demo environment. So this being used by multiple user, but definitely when we have a standard environment, there will be limited module which will be there, depend upon the organization, right? If I want to search common modules, what are the common things which are there? So if you can see, common are also available, which will be common across all the modules, right? That's the thing also available. Now this is one navigation which I showed you. Secondly, I'll not move forward. Let's show the second navigation. Now I know that is a global search navigation which is available. If suppose I know my task is under procurement, why to go and search for so many things? Correct. What I do is select a module, procurement. This value set and other option are available in purchasing foundation, because we found it as foundation, which we call it as foundation setups actually. So always remember, purchasing value sets, procurement value sets, everything related to SCM will come under purchasing foundation, because purchasing is something which is covering everything. SCM thing, order management, we do have for order management different setup, but purchasing is the main setup which we call it while involving procurement, right? So if I can just scroll down and show you, we saw manage value set here. If you could, it is dedicated to purchasing only. We have managed purchasing value set, right? I'll take a halt here if anyone has any doubt regarding it. I wanted to show you both the navigation, so it becomes much easier going by value, global search also. And if you know what is the particular thing which you want and where is the functional area resided, that is also available. The screen, when I'll click on this, will be same. If you see, which we saw there was same. So both the navigation are available, but I personally believe to go instead of global search by going by the module name actually, because it avoids confusion. You do not have to search a lot. Okay, no, this is not related to manage value set is something which is globally. And the question which was raised, that how it is different to the module. So we have an option. It has been available as a global option also, and similarly a particular dedicated module also. But all the things and everything will be residing in the same table only. So the table derivation and the screen remains the same for us actually. If here, now if you can see here, I had a by default option common purchasing entity. So I do not have to search, okay, SCM, common purchasing. I know which are available, correct? So if I select one of the module, click on search, I can see what all different types of value set are available here. It will take little time to just extract the data. Yeah. So someone has developed a value set for career, carriers, country, transaction currency, rate type, event point, frequency at which the consumption advice will be generated. So this is depending upon the different business requirement. I'm just following the description to let you know, okay, this is the name which we can create different type of. I'll take a halt here as well. If anyone has any queries, any doubt, wanted to show you both the navigation, but remember the things better and the best approach to go forward is to follow by procurement, functional area and task, because this avoids confusion and it's much more easier actually. Because I know if I'm a person who is dealing with purchasing, I know which module to select. I do not have to search SCM. Global search or the search option will be available there, but going by a module is becomes the things much easier, because you know which task you need to do, what action you need to perform, correct? I'll take a halt here if anyone has any queries, any doubt regarding this. Okay, then we are good to move forward. So suppose, let me clear this, reset the things. Let's create a one. I'll re-show the navigation for the audience. Just a minute. Okay, now I want to create my own value set. Right? Go to this process. Now, these are the fields required. So if you see here, the one which are marked in star are really, really important. And these are the mandatory fields. Reason for keeping them mandatory is until I know the set code, what is the particular name given to it, what is the module it is referring, what is the validation type, and what type of value data type you want. So we'll go line by line. Set code is nothing but a unique identification, so that moving forward, I know if I know this particular value set has a code this, so I know that. Description is not mandatory. If you want to give, that is fine. Not if you do not want to give, it's fine, but we generally prefer to give description, because we have value set 1, 2, 3 in that format, so it becomes easier to identify the value set in basis of description. Module, definitely a very important point, because which module this value set is referring, I need to know. Validation type. So I'll follow this and take it to the PPT also. What is different types of validation types are available? It's just related from a table. Is it a subset? Is it a dependent one on some other value set? Is it an independent one? Then we have this types of option available. We'll go with this line by line, but I'm just showing you the screen right now. Tertiary, which comes up to as value data type. Now considered in this format. So I'll just ask you all as well also. If this is a value set which I'm trying to prepare, what should be the value data type? A very simple answer, that it should be character, because this is character things, right? If similarly, I would have want a value set in this format, 1, 2, 3, 4, where the answer rank, give me the ranks in the screen. So what should be the value set that I should use? It should be definitely number. Similarly, some clients have a requirement, no, I want an additional date, or should be available on the system as sysdate, right? So in that case, what should be the value data type which should be used? Just a data type field, that it should be date. Reason for having date and time different, sorry, this should be date and time. Reason for having them separate is some clients want timestamps, some clients do not want timestamps. That is a very frequent thing. So Oracle had to give a proximity. Okay, if you want the things into seconds only, then it's fine. But an organization which is working in way that they know their order gets processed in 7 weeks, 5 weeks, then just give us the date, tentative date, that will be fine. Correct. Now let's create one. What I'll do is I'll give it a name as, just for customer, we are building a custom thing. So I'll type it as XXAME, XXTAV, color codes. Right. I'll give it a name. This is required by the client. Remember, description will not be available for the screen. It is just for backup understanding. What will be available is the name which you given there, right? Client to know the color code. As I'm in purchasing, I'll select the common purchasing entities. Now, what is the validation type I need? Is it a format only independent? So let me take you to the screen. Types of value set. So format only. What happens is, suppose I have a requirement where I have to enter the text, right? There's no, which we saw right now was a drop down, right? I know the list which will be available, color coding, light blue, red, blue, but there might be a case where I want a user to enter it, right? Suppose if I'm asking him to provide his phone number, I can provide it in a list, right? That will be really huge. So what I ask him, give your detail in format of text to me. So that is format only. We call it as type, sorry, where it is in the format itself, where the data which entered is like a text format. What we call this as independent, a list of values consisting of valid values you specify. So this is independent of other values. What happens is, just giving you a scenario. We'll go here line by line. Format one is simple text field. What we mean by text field is, I allow the user to enter the data. That screen or that tab is available and user can type there. Okay, what is this? My name is Varun. I'll type it there. Okay, provide your name, Varun, in that way. Independent one. What do we mean by independent one is the one which we are about to create. Because this is the format. This is independent. It does not depend upon what selection which you done prior to this, right? This is like a selection, right? Select one of this. That's an independent thing. It is not dependent on any other factor. But we might have a scenario. I'll give you an example. Dependent one. What we mean by dependent one is, suppose, taking this example as well, pen, I wanted to buy a pen of particular company, right? Let's say normal pen, a Natraj pen, right? Yes. I know in my stock, I have only two types of color, right? That is blue and black. But for Reynolds pen, I have three types of color. That is blue, black, and green. Now, when a user comes to a screen, what we want is first select a pen. Is it a Nataraj pen, or I'm showing you two drop downs. So we'll have two drop down here, right? Or it is a Reynolds pen. Dependent only what they select here, then my LOV, or I'll say the list of values which is coming behind this, that is color, right, will depend upon the type of pen selected. So if the user select Nataraj pen here, then the only two option which should be available to him is this two, blue and black. So there's a dependency here. What dependency we have is the selection which is to be made earlier. Similarly, if it goes in this format, that what the user selects here from this LOV is dependent, this LOV is dependent on this LOV. Basically, what we want to select in color is dependent upon what selection has been done on pen. I will giving a lifetime example. This is a very important scenario. This happens, really happens, because I do not want to expose all the list of values to all the users, right? It's may a requirement that I want this supplier to see only this field. That can be a case, right? I do not want this field or this particular LOV to be exposed to everyone, right? I'll take a halt here as well. If anyone has any queries, I wanted to give you a simple example so that will help you to understand what type of value set which we have. So just remember, these are the main three ones. Apart from this, we have two, which I'll explain you, but these three are the basic one, because n number of scenario which you'll come across in your lifetime project, and any project will do. This will be the three only, because this suffix your thing. You have a text field, right? Enter the text. Independent, create your own one, independent of anything. If you know, okay, this particular thing or the LOV which I'm creating is dependent on something, dependent upon prior selection. So what we have to do, there's a query for that. We'll build that, no worries. But concept is really important to understand here. So what is the concept? Dependent upon what is done into this pen field selection, determines what has the selection has to be done in this value set. Correct. I'll take a halt here as well. If anyone has any queries, any doubt, please feel free to ask me. Are we clear, guys?
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Okay. I think this would be more easy for understand, right? Instead of going with word, I just wanted to an example, because this comes, we'll come across this multiple scenario n number of places, right? If you want text field, if you want independent field, if you want dependent field, easy to understand, and really just it will be I'll tell you, this is just a click of understanding here. Just once you remember the concept, it will be with you lifetime, right? You know, okay, these are the option, what this option means. So you moving forward, when you go to have any live project or when you work on anything, you know, okay, this is the thing which will happen, what I need to do. I have the ideology, I know the understanding is really important. Correct. Here, apart from this, we have subset also. So what is a subset is, suppose there are option, I'll show you here as well. I develop a LOV depending upon having multiple LOV, right? So what happens is, I'll give an example for this also. Okay, chocolate. Sorry guys for just the language, it's just I'm just typing quickly. Okay. consider a scenario. Suppose I'm creating an order on chocolates actually. Unless, right, I'm like from a very good industry, also say Cadbury industry. I know I manufacture this also, I manufacture n number of things, but my option selection, right, if I want to create an order which is dependent upon what item I've selected. So what I want as the user is select if they want chocolate, yes or no, right? Dependently, this field, option field, should be visible to the user only if they have selected yes. So what bifurcation you have done here is, this LOV or this field should be visible only when the option selected here is yes, right? So this is dependent as well. At the same time, it is also a subset. Reason we call it as a subset is, until unless an option has been taken here, we do not have to do anything here, correct? What was happening in dependent is, user can see both the fields. Also, you can make this as subset also, but understand the difference, right? Here is the scenario where you want both the fields to be shown, right? But here you only want the field to be shown when you have yes or no confirmation done here, correct? So that is a format of subset. This options will be only available when the decision has been made on the earlier field, correct? That we call it as subset. Similarly, we also have one more, which is a table format. What happens is, suppose this is something which is like, you will see, understand, or you'll get to know more upon this. It's a where clause query which allows you to build. What do you mean by where clause query here is, suppose you want to make a descriptive flex field and you want to derive a data. To deriving a data, what you need to do is fetch the data from that particular table, correct? So here, by using table, it allows you to query a table and derive the value from that particular table. I'll give an example. Suppose on the screen, you want to derive purchase order number, right? You all know, as from functional point of view also and technical also, that a table for purchase order is PO header sol, correct? Now, if you know, PO order sol will have n number of data. Manually configuring them, the thing like light green, blue, black will not be possible, because purchase order would be n number of things. Suppose I want purchase order with supplier XYZ to be visible. Even with this condition also, I have around 300 records. So manually going and creating a value set in this format will not be correct for me, correct? So what Oracle do is build a select query for this. Why not? So just select an option table in the value set, and you can prepare a query there. But remember, this will be only be a select query, no update, no insert, nothing is allowed, because Fusion only follows deriving a data, not inserting a data, correct? So what you can do is, suppose you want to build a value set with purchase order name, or say purchase order number. You can write a query in front of that, select star from PO header sol. I'm just first explaining you in Notepad++, but we'll definitely see this all in an example, right? So what you have done is, by just writing this query, you have bought all the 300 information which you require, correct? So that's all types of which you see here. You're getting my point, right? For table also, reason for having table also is because sometimes the value or the value which need to be done will not be limited to 3 or 5. There can be 10, 15, 16. So better, why to create manually, writing them light green there, because manually creating has some error, right? So better is, with table that value store, select start from directly from that table, right? Now just let's see them line by line, correct? Let me just go to here. First, I'll select format only. Okay. And I'll type it as character. Now, if you see here, what has come, 3 fields have come, right? Whenever I select a data type, let me just show you once again. I started with, I've given a color code. This fields we have already entered. Now I'm different types of value set. I'm selecting one of it. That is format only. Now I see it as character. What option I have? Text, digit, time, and the string, right? Let me select text. What do we mean by minimum values? So here, sorry. Let's start from 1. Let me explain it here. Yeah. Here I selected Now what I want is it is in a text, right? Maximum length, because you need to specify, right? This should be the length of that value set. Maximum length should be, let's suppose I give it as 100. What should be the minimum value? Maximum. This, if you see, this is an optional field. Just for that, if you want to know, this much value should be supplied by the user. Reason for having it is in the form of number. Actually, when you provide number digit only, you have to give that, okay, this might be a minimum value, this has to be, at least has to be provided, correct? Now in our case, it is a color coding, so I've given a length of 100. Depend upon your length which you're given. If you see this block size, now this one, similar, this block size will be available there. So depends upon you if the field name which you are giving is in a small size, because you have to take UI also into consideration, right? I can't build a field of 600, so it will show a box of this much big size, and that will be incorrect for a user, right? Although you can create that, but that from a user perspective will not look correct. So here what we are doing is we are selecting a particular length, minimum length, what will be the maximum value which can be passed, uppercase only. So suppose if you want to know the color coding which you're selecting should not be in this format, it should be capital only. So what Oracle will do for you is, whenever you type even in lowercase, it will automatically convert into the uppercase and store the data for you. So a flexibility provided by Oracle. Zero fill. What do you mean by zero fill is, sometimes what happens is, no, if you make this field as mandatory, then what will happen is it will, the UI screen, when you click on save, UI screen will give an error. No, this field has not been mandatory. So what, by zero fill you are allowing, even if that field is empty, allow the user to save, right? That is really important. Filling zero fill is really important. Depends upon your, no, you do not want this field to be mandatory. No, not required. Then you can make it in that sense. Similarly, if I go to independent, let's see what different option do we have in independent text. Same option, independent, similarly the things have come, but if we see one more option which has got enabled is data security resource name. This is not mandatory, but this comes more into BI publishing things, actually more of a technical thing which comes out. If you want the independent field which you are creating has some security enabled, so this will administrative team will look after it, that if this value set which you are creating has to be security dependent, that whom should it be seen. If I want, there are 10 people who are working in an organization with me, but I want this value set to be only seen by upper management, then what I do is I enable the security for it. No, please do not show it to everyone in the screen. In that case, format text only is generally do not is security enabled, because that is definitely a free field, right? Anything which user entered does not require security enabled in that. Now let's come to dependent one. Just leave the screen to load. Yep. So here also value subtype, minimum value, and which is the value set code which you are referring for dependent one, right? So this, if you see here, independent has become a mandatory field, correct? Similarly, so just wanted to show you different types of screen, different types of ways, and how this gets created. Table, sorry, a subset is also there. Let me show you table first. That is really important. Now, this was the thing which I was talking about. If you see, Oracle has by default provided you the things from which table you want to derive. Remember, if you, whenever you type a query, if that query is incorrect, select star. If I by mistake give it sorry, from clause is there, right? So this would be PO. I gave the incorrect name for a table, right? It will not allow me to save, because Oracle also does the pre-validation behind the screen that, okay, this table do exit from the user or not, right? Value column name. So showing you the screen, value column name is from which column you are deriving, right? Dependently. Description column name, like this is not mandatory. If you know the description of that column, if you want to supply, that is fine. ID column name, what is the column name which is there, what is the particular ID, this are not mandatory. What is required is, if you see here, which column you're deriving and from clause, because you need to understand. Suppose in this reason of having where clauses, if you do not want a particular date, in that way, it should, the start date should be greater than today's date, suppose in that format you want. In where clause, in that case, you can supply that date. Order by similarly, if just imagine this as a section when you're creating a query, right? So Oracle, instead of writing a single query completely, has divided the field. Write the table name here, write the column which you're referring, write the condition if you want. If you see this is not mandatory here. If you do not want any condition, then that's fine. If you want a condition, it's required. Order by clause. If you want it to be in an order, particular format, last, descending order, ascending order, depend upon you, right? I'll take a halt here as well. If anyone has any queries, any doubts. First, understanding a screen and understanding, if I would have easily created it, would not be that like beneficial. Understanding each column importance is really, really important actually. I'll take a halt here as well. If anyone has any queries, any doubts.
Oh, can we validate the value set here, or we cannot validate the value?
We can validate. Definitely, you can validate. Reason being, when if the value is incorrect, right, the table which you have provided, when you click on save, it will give an error.
Okay, but we don't have an option to select from the list of values. Okay.
Yeah. For oh yeah, correct. So like from table, you want to see the list of values, is it so?
Yeah, from clause. Generally in the EBS, I'm just trying to compare. Relating with the EBS, we generally try to have the list of values, right? Yeah.
Correct. But here it automatically will derive from the table actually.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So let's first create a dependent one. Sorry, independent one. That will be the first easy case which we'll understand. Let us select as text. Maximum length I'll select as 10. It will be okay. Zero fill I'll not give. I definitely want this to be filled uppercase. If I want, I can give it. Minimum values as not required, I'll fill it accordingly. Click on save. So if you see, when I clicked on save, this data is validated and this value set code has gone non-editable. What does it mean by non-editable? Is this has been taken by me. This name is corresponding to my value set which I've created, right? Unless you click on save, the values will be open, and until you do not do not click on save, the value will be available for anyone to use same name. But now no one will allow to use this value set. They cannot create same name basically, right? Now I have done with my initial thing, created a value set. Now assigning a values. What do we mean by values? I need to fill the color, right? I've given the color code, but what should be the values? To fill the values, if you see, when I clicked on save, manage values has got enabled. Click on manage values. Now what you are doing is adding a values. So to add a values, here's the first thing, correct? Click on this. Light blue. Let me add one more. Green. Black. If in moving future, if you think that no, black color is the list of value I do not want to save, you can disable it as well. If you see here, enable option is available. If you want, no, disable it, right? Suppose by default, what would Oracle does is it develops subsequent as last come last service, right? In the sense, light blue was the first one I created, but has gone below the stack. But no, in the UI screen, you want to see the order is in this format. Sorting the order, give the number to that. So this will allow you to sort it. No, this light blue should be the first one, should be seen in the list of values. Green should be second, third should be there. What coming up with the start date and end date is, but on order, you know, the stock will get end dated at a particular time. This color option, this particular black color pens will not be available. Give it a start date and end date. These are not non-mandatory field. If you see, star is only marked on the value field. Even the description is not mandatory. Right? So options are available. Different types of options are available. How you can create it, how different types, if you wanted enable, disable, has that flexibility. Correct? I click on save. Okay, if you can see, these values have been taken by me. Moving forward, I come with the scenarios. No, there's one more color coming up. Just go to the screen once again. Add. If you see, this is still option enabled for you. Create one. Add is done. Suppose if there are 100 of things available, you can also have extracted it to an Excel. Okay, for easy understanding in that sense. Correct. Just click on save and close. So once the data is saved, Save and close. Let's search by our XSTV. Our value set has come here, right? If you want to re-edit it, you want to change the delete, click on this pencil icon. You can check the details. Once again, go to manage values. Even going to manage values available here as well. Here. Oh, I think I did not save it. Just a minute. Okay, just a minute. Oh, sorry. This is something which I. Just a. Yeah, it's there. No worries. Actually, I have to search it before adding another values. So that has to be there and it's available here. And just remember, if you have already added a value, it will not allow you to create the same value because there's a duplicacy then in that case which will occur. Right, so this was our main agenda for today, understanding the value set. I think this, just remember about this example which I've shown you today. Moving forward, right now we have, because it's a continuous session, we'll go with creating a independent one. The complex one are the table ones actually, where we'll have multiple question actually being triggered. Actually, you need to understand what is a from clause, where things. So I just wanted to, because we are working on value set, understanding a value set and understanding type of value set and what is the name given and what is the simpler ones are the independent and dependent, because you have a control on this. Now we'll understand in our next session is what is this one also table wide and what is a subset, because that are something little complex, but this were the main things which we wanted to show, right? And I think reason for having this example also was to make the things much easier. You have this example in mind, you know the things, like if a client comes with a requirement to you, do this, you know why to make the things complex by table. You feel that things is possible through dependent things, right? I need to just configure 3 or 5 values, done, that's it. I know if I want text field, that's done, right? So main agenda was to understand the value set and understand how to get forward. So you have a link, just as a homework or a task, what you consider, just go and create a value set. I think you can definitely, moving forward, if you have this recording, you can refer this recording, understand this field, understand what I do. Giving a value set name is quite an option. You can do that, right? But main agenda was, I think you got a feel about what is value set and what we are doing. Actually, we have started with our first configuration, and moving with will make the things more complex. How about table, subset, how that subset looks like, right? But this was a main agenda, right? I think we are clear, guys. Anything, any doubt, any issues, please go forward. We have a half an hour time, but I'll not make the things much complex, because bringing everything in a one call does not make sense. Let's go step by step, because we have time. No worries. Any doubt, guys? Anyone?
Clear as
Okay. And please feel free to navigate in this application. This is demo environment, but the things which are shown today, just have a practice of that. Just practice them out. Reason having a practice will make the things more easier, and you'll have a grip of it. Actually, that's my main aim. Right? And guys, I think I had a discussion with the admin team, so this will be the last free session. Moving forward, when you have to enroll for it, so have a chat and discuss upon it, and I'll be happy to see you in the moving session. So this was the last free session, and I think it was really nice to interact with you all, guys. Actually, understanding the things, and actually it's really important. But what I'm a personal believer, like having multiple sessions and multiple trainings which I give, going into the application and understanding the thing is really important. Minute things is something which is really important, right? Even if you see, you can find all this thing in Google everywhere, right? But there you will have a PPT session. PPT you can find 100 of times, 100 of where, but I'm much a believer of lifetime example and understanding the application point of view. If you see, I created a value set. If you try the same thing from your end, you'll get a practice, and that practice is really important. Actually, this practice you will not get anywhere, because even if you search on YouTube videos, they will show you a sequence of steps. But what is the importance of this field? You know, okay, maximum length means this. What is a subtype? What are the different options? Helps you beneficially in your client projects as well. You know the client, you tell the client, okay, this is possible. Yes, not possible, not possible. That's fine. Oracle limitation, can't do anything, right? That will be the main agenda. Okay, I'll be happy to see you guys moving forward, but have a decision on it. So anything, any doubt, any queries?
Yeah, one thing, Varun, like generally, is there any material that will be provided after each class, or how exactly it will be?
So what we do is I'll share the PPT link, and we have this video also uploaded. Now the session which will be coming up once you enroll it, we'll be having a live interactive session also. What we mean by live interactive session is I create a value set, right? In the call itself, line by line, we had the, as per the people enrolled, we'll see, demo the environment. You will also practice it out. So that I'll help you out if there's any mistake, any configuration error which is coming in that case. And what we'll do is we'll prepare a scenario. So what in the next session which is coming, Bhaskar, is I'll prepare an Excel predefined in the session. Before that, I'll create multiple scenarios. I will having multiple worksheets actually in that okay, XYZ scenarios there. I'll give you that scenarios. I'll also work with you in that scenario. First scenario I'll explain you can try it manually. So this will be a live class which we say. You also work on it. I also explain it in the meal time. That will be the case. And PPT and other worksheets will be always there. Yeah. And even the PDF which we have in the past, that also I'll share. No worries.
Got it. Okay, sure.
And more of a live session actually. That is really, really important according to me.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Got it.
Okay, I think guys, I'll buy you this 26 minutes. Have a rest, have a time, but it was really, really nice. So main task for our third session was to get into the application, start the configuration. So we have stepped the first step has taken, and I think starting with the basic one is really important. Complexity going into business unit inventory org is not that beneficial. Simple configuration will finish out. And once the simple are done, you'll have a confidence and okay, not complex one, we can handle it out, right? Okay, so just reiterate, this will be our last free session, and just let know the admin team you have this number of the admin team. I can just so please feel to contact on this number. This is a particular number. I can even ping you in chat. So this is the admin team and the person handling them. So for enrollment and other activities, you can contact this number actually.
Oh, okay, sure, perfect.
Okay, so thank you everyone. Thank you for joining your call. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Okay, thanks a lot. Yeah.